Greetings, fellow animal tamers and caravaneers. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld, The Darkest Ages. Episode 46, Going Camping for a Noble Steed. Taking a look at the goal here, I left that up a long time. Once we are done cleaning up, so I'm going to stockpile, or replace limbs and clean up the fort, and tame horses. So our best horse tamer is, maybe... I don't want to send Ginger, because, like, she could really get messed up. Either a Valka or Mike. I might send Mike, and then have the animals, Serenity and Dom, bind to Mike, so that Mike has, like, escort. So if the horses don't have a revenge chance, but there might be a mad animal that tries to kill Mike while Mike is out trying to tame horses. So it's good to have, like, backup. But I don't want to remove too many humans from the fort, because then we have problems. Art patron. Also, Klein is heat stroking. We have both of the passive coolers roaring here. I think, Klein, let's go ahead and deconstruct this hearth. I know it's annoying. I even installed a mod to not have to do this, but I screwed up, and obviously I need to re-enable the mod. Because now that we have a heat wave, I really ought not to have like a source of permanent heat churning out in the base. Doesn't really make sense. So I'll just leave that like partially built for the winter. The corpses in the southeast are mostly cleaned up. Yeah, most of the cleanup's done. We still have a bunch of corpses over here. And I'm going to raise the ingredient radius up to like 86, let's say. Because I don't want a whole bunch of dead bodies on the bridge, because that was the trigger for Sean's mental break. Our ideology doesn't care about dead bodies, but Mike and Sean's merchant way, or whatever they're called, does. So I have to be mindful of their movements. How goes today? Pretty good. Things could have gone a lot worse. I'll put it that way. Germans, Tyranovics. No thanks. I could sell the artificial leg. We don't actually have anyone that needs it at the moment. I'm very low on components. Noted. Yeah, I would say that's probably the only trades to make. And I'll dismiss them. The artificial leg wasn't needed because we upgraded to a mechanical one, so like a lower tech. As far as research goes in Anomaly, we already have bioferret shaping. Do I have a bioferret shaper? I vaguely recall, like, last week. Oh, yeah, we have one. I just don't have the power watt needed to use it. I mean, I could. All I have to do is turn off some of the proximity detectors, and then we would have the grid access to use it. But I don't need it right now. I only mentioned because I know I only have 3 components left, and if we want any more mechanical body parts, I'm going to need more, but that can wait. So I think the point at which I feel comfortable sending someone out to go tame horses, whether it's Mike or someone else, is going to be when we have our chem drench replaced. And what I could do in this case is harvest some of the hay grass early in order to get it moving so that we could then go and try to tame horses for the stables. The hope was if we had enough horses, whenever we get like siege sites, we'll be able to ride out to meet the horses, and then we could also go to the merchant guilds more frequently because, oops, not view from orbit. this distance is only 3 days, but with horses, it's going to be like a day and a half. It'd be a lot faster. And then it'd be a lot more reasonable to do sort of trade. And then leveraging Maddox's production command or production ability, we could make like corsets or some other clothing in order to sell for profit. Because he's cranking out the masterworks. So Lilin, when Lilin's no longer wounded, I'll replace Mike's toe, and then when Mike is done with anesthesia, I will send them out to go tame horses. I think it's time to kill the scary things out here. We don't have a lot of wood in the base, but I have enough that, like, we'll focus on culling the monsters today. One grizzly down. Alright, what else we got? A warg, kind of close by. Grizzly to the west. Grizzly very close. Alright, let's get the very close grizz. And I'll send Ginger, who lagged behind, to go clean up that other grizzly body. We also have the red horn larpa, or whatever it's called, right down there. I'm actually somewhat surprised that these, the grizzlies have stuck around at 110 Fahrenheit heat. I guess they're more temperature tolerant than I had realized. So normally you would just leave the map tile. Damn, this thing can tank. Alright, the red fox is to their south. So, Valka, you finish off that larpa. And then Maddock, or McGee rather, you go haul the grizzly. Major and Maddock go south to the fox. You know what? Don't even bother with the fox. Fox is never going to try to hunt us. We have an owl cat. Alright, I will undraft Major and Maddock. And then Major will just grab some pemmican and run back into the base. That's some of the wild animals. I know there's still more to go. It's a start. Lilin's healed. So Mike is going to go have his surgery. Please don't, like, cut his brain or her brain open as a result of the surgery. Okay, cool. Mechanical toe. All set. As far as missing body parts, kidney, damaged eye, kidney, hearing loss due to old age. That's it. So there's nothing actionable. In other words, we're good on that front. Awesome. This should give us the Larpa white fur, which is incredibly good cold insulation. Knowing that, the tailor bench we use for stuff ought not to use Larpa fur. Because it's going to be best reserved for like a toque or something. I don't want to waste it on something worthless. So, there, done. Should we vote on something for the rest of the people to do? So the rest of the people, I'm sure, will have like wood hauling tasks, resetting traps, sewing. Like there's just constant base maintenance required, culling monsters, moving corpses. There's truly no shortage of work to be done. So if they're idle, I'll like think about it, but I doubt they'll be idle. That's unlikely. All right, John. Yeah, oh, great. Good. Your mental break was so strong that you done soiled your pants. The next opportunity for an ideology ritual. Ooh, when is that? That would be the summer solstice, and that is 5th of August, so that's coming up. That's in a week. Maybe we'll get a miracle healing. Maybe one of our like kidneys will regrow. We also have the Noceosphere, which will be unstable in about a week, so hoping we get attacked by then. Hey, Jonah, thank you for the resub. Yeah, late night stream. Indeed. Alright, Sean snapped out of it. And we do have some guests. Let's take a look at them. Unhygienic and ugly. They do brawl, though. But I don't think we're going to bring them in. Alright, next guest. Misandrist, kind undergrounder with, like, pretty limited combat skills. Probably not either. I mean, realistically, we're not going to be able to, like, sway any of them. So it might not even matter if we identify one we want. I think what we could do is we could practice our social skills on them, knowing that like they're never going to join anyway, so might as well just like practice. Yeah. It's not honestly a terrible idea. Now the other worry I have is they do have a hearth like roaring in their bedroom. And they have no coolers, and I don't really want to heat stroke them to death, because, like, I think their faction would get a little pissed if I killed them. So I'm gonna have to rebuild the hearth again. The other hearth, the southern hearth, because I thought I could extinguish it, but obviously I cannot. And then, set up a passive cooler instead. Alright, don't refuel. Might as well build and not refuel this too. Because if I have a constructor that is not currently able, that will help. Alright, Mr. Mike. Mrs. Mike, I should say. 15 hours, and then we'll have you and the dogs venture out and bring, I guess, pemmican and rice. Because you'll use the pemmican for yourself, and then the rice for taming horses. With that known, let's do a quick, like, super high priority haul to try to bring in as much pemmican as possible. I won't necessarily, like, micromanage them, but if they, I'm hoping to bring in some pemmican. Wildlife. Yeah, surprisingly, the heat wave really have not made the grizzlies, wargs, torals, owlcats, like nothing is left. So all the heat, all the misery of the heat with none of the benefit of the heat. which is just absolutely terrific. I see them hauling granite, so I'm going to tell them to stop. We really don't need granite that badly at the moment. We have 4 wood in the base. My goodness. Also, oh, bluebirds, quail, rather. No one invited you. Get out. So Mike is able to move around about 6 hours. That's our departure time. There's plenty of bedrolls here. Mike's not in a relationship, so I don't need to worry about that. My guests have been thoroughly offended. I just can't catch a break. Just never going to be able to convert any of those. Uh-oh. Matic is... Wait, I didn't even think you could entertain guests. Oh, you can entertain. Okay. Well, what is your relationship with what's-her-name now? She's your rival? Hey, that's good. That's what I was going for. Welcome them with open rivalries. So I don't have to travel very far to try to tame horses. So I'm just going to go like two tiles over. So Mike, Dom, and only Dom, because Serenity's pregnant. I'm just going to leave Serenity here. We don't need like a whole bunch of puppies popping out and going, oh, we have all of a sudden an unexpected demand on XYZ. The problem is mass. Might not be the right choice. Because Mike has a full set armor and is like massive. So I'm going to have to go with a Valka, unfortunately. So Valka and Dom, plus bedroll, plus herbal, plus pemmican, and rice. And then maybe like a little bit of drugs. Bring the mead and 2 tea. Get sent out. And then animals, Valka, you are going to take Dom as your familiar, and then Mike will take Serenity. Rather than back to Major or whoever it was. So our leader is departing. So I hope this goes well. All right, the ETA on conversion ritual is still 7 days, so there's one more time. There's one more chance to hit Sean up with a regular old convert, but due to kindness, Sean is very slowly reconverting. It's taken weeks, but progress is being made at least. Replacing limbs, I'm going to mark down as done. So instead of clean up the fort, stockpile resources and tame horses. Because we are still only sitting on about 125 wood, which is thousands too little. Even though we have trees growing within our walls, they're not even close to being mature enough to be helpful. So we really, really desperately need some more timber to be pulled in. One too many eyes? I think it's one too many L's, but sure. Stockpile. Stockpile. Alright, Avalka ran out of food. Not really. Avalka, you are going to be allowed meals and pemmican. Congratulations, you now have food. Maddox kept up Rhoda 4 times in a row. Man, you are on a roll. What do you keep saying to her? Well, alright. She hates men, so you know what? It might not be your fault. But I'm really curious as to what the social log is now at this point. Maddox celebrated Lorona's lovers. Oh god. Dude. Okay, yeah, I can see why this isn't working. What else did you say, bud? Oh, it's not even in the log. I'm sure it's bad. I'm sure it's bad. She hates you. Like, hates you. She wants to stab you in the eyeball. Mike is throwing a party. Alright. Maybe that will cheer them up at least. And Avalka will be at destination in about an hour. In-game hour. 2. Something like that. Alright, I'm gonna force clean up a bit. It got kind of nasty. Alright, Avalka's there. So we are gonna, I'm gonna camp rather than settle. I'm gonna use the camp mechanic. It's a smaller map tile, but it's like gonna be quicker to look for horses. It's a quick wildlife search. Buck, alpaca, boar, no horse. Reform caravan and head adjacent. Easy peasy. They enjoyed their stay. I think they're probably plotting to kill me at this point. But like, whatever, you know. If they want to come back in a few days, let's just hope they don't murder me. There is a porcupine here, which would be a breeding pair. I'm going to tame it. It's worth it. Oh, for a second I thought Dom was just like, oh, porcupine? Chomp. Luckily it was a bunny. That would have been, funny, I guess? So I know I didn't come for porcupine, but I think it makes sense given the porkpocalypse that we experienced with the Chimera breach to start to breed them again. So Portapane is looking for a mate. Single and ready to mingle. And it looks like we're starting to actually haul wood, which is great. Yep. So our wood's gonna go up a lot because all the other things to haul are done. Which means only wood is left. So, Avalka, you have animal handling set to 1, burning passion and all. So you should be able to tame it in the morning. And I think it eats rice, right? Like, that's the only requirement. So you eat vegetables. Which, like, rice is a vegetable, not a grain. I don't know. Don't think about it too much. Why do I have porcupine? I'll explain. I've said this before, but when your enemies that you have captured try to escape, and they fight porcupines, when you attack a porcupine, you get quilled. And quills embed into your body permanently, unless you surgically remove them, and it imparts 5% pain. The more in pain something is, the less likely it is to try to escape, because high levels of pain lowers sentience. So, porcupines make for very good entity guards. Also prison guards, I suppose. Because it will, if you have enough quills. If you quill something enough, it gets to the point where they're so in pain that they aren't even conscious anymore. Meaning that you permanently incapacitate entities that can feel pain. Noosphere, of course, cannot feel pain. This thing obviously is covered in cracks and burns, and it doesn't matter because it's like yeah, plays by different rules. But that's why I have porcupines. They're very useful to subdue entities that you intend to keep for a while. Got some okay. I know that that's when Navalka was back at the base, but okay, yep. I might not look like it, but I'm a genius. I'm not a genius. I saw that tip on Reddit. I didn't even come up with it myself. I forget who said it, so I can't credit the person who had mentioned it, but it was clever. So I was like, yeah, I'll roll with it. Alright, Avalka failed at taming the thing. I am going to move on. It's a one and done, because the time it takes to attempt a new tame is like a long time, so I'm not even going to bother. We also have Thrombos here. I could hypothetically try to attack him, but I don't feel great about my odds with, like, bows. I might just leave him alone. Matic, gotta go frenzy. Cool. It's not particularly useful for the dude that can't haul. Oh, Chimera's approach. Okay. Opportunity here for the Noosphere, obviously. Red light on. I'm going to want to close this gate and all of the other uranium doors. As fast as I can. So Mike, you get that one. Ginger, you get that one. McGee. You get those three. Lilin. You go to the Noosphere. Matic. You get that one. Major. You get that one. I think I hit them all. And they are there. Okay. Not a lot of them, but enough to probably damage the Noosphere enough to help considerably. Also, schedule. Everybody forced inside, including my pets. Because it's not a good time to be outside. Oh, inside should not include... Oops. This area. There we go. Let's make sure that inside is, like, painted correctly. I included it there before when we were trying to reset the trap, but obviously I'm not going to do that right now. Inside should not include here either, for safety. And that gate should have closed, but it didn't, so let me do that again. Major, you're done. McGee, you're not. Lilin, we're going to wait to send when the Chimeras are aggressive. which isn't yet. Come on, close. Oh, is there a... Ah, there's a heater shield in it. Ah, that explains it. Frickin' thing. Move that. It's like Watergate all over again. For those that are young, Watergate was good old duct tape to the door. Blew that wide open. You can wiki it yourself if you'd like. Roy, run. Buddy, run. Alright, Ivalka is still camping. Don't forget to restrict McGee, I'm sure you mean. Yes, done. Alright, who is the most rested? Major's pretty well oh, Sean. Alright, Sean. You just had catharsis too. So you are gonna you're gonna grab a meal. And then take over for Lillian, who needs to sleep. You didn't even... Okay, whatever. Didn't even bother to go to a table. He wasn't, like, restricted away from the table. He just decided, you know what? Actually, I don't think you care that you ate without a table. What is your ideology anyway? Do you really not care? Well, you don't have rough living. I don't know. Apparently he's like war crime immune. I don't know why. You know, that occurs to me, the containment strength doesn't really matter for the Noosphere, like, at all. So, like, leaving this door open, I don't think matters either. But yeah, there you go. Your watch has ended. You may leave. Because well, I guess it helps for the suppression level. Nah, maybe I'll close it. So the reason I'm waiting for the Chimera to be aggressive is I'm worried that if I send the Noosphere before then, the Noosphere will, like, pick them off one at a time rather than have the whole pack go against it. And I'd rather have the whole pack go against it so I can disable it. Why did I click the Chimera's approach off? Oh, that was so dumb. Now I don't know where they are. Crappity crap, crap, crap. Never get rid of your message on the right when it indicates hostiles. Alright, here we go. I will send the sphere here, I think is reasonable. Yep, good guess. I think it probably just killed, like, wild animals. Okay. It's doing something. Sean, you are off duty. Fog or oh god. It's here? I don't like this. Alright, everyone. Gather round. Go south. Noosphere departed. Oh, yes. I am happy with that. Alright, Ivalka has arrived. I don't know if the Chimeras if there's Chimeras left. There's nothing here. So we'll move on. RimWorld horses. I'm gonna make sure that, like, Temperate Forest is, like, a good place to search for them. I don't have their habitats memorized. One moment. Wow. The wiki, I don't believe, has their biomes. Oh, no, it does. Temperate forest, swamps, arid shrublands, boreal forest, grasslands, lava fields. Okie dokie, yeah. So I'm searching correctly. Because we're in temperate forest. Good, good, good. Alright, there is absolutely Chimera up, because I see one running at me. It's probably wounded as all hell, but I am not alone. It also, like, just tried to murder everything. I mean, everything. Animals, indirectly trees, etc. Brawlers, go home. Probably don't need you, and you'd move real slow. Here is a chimera that is capturable. Yes, I'm going to want to capture. So, this Tough Spike, I think, is the healthiest. No, never mind. Sentience 90%. Well, we have an open spot already. So, let's see. Major. Capture Chimera. And then this one is open as well. Extreme burns. And we can put it in here. I think this one is just missing an arm. Yeah. So this one is going to get executed. So Roy, go execute to free up another slot for the other Chimera. Somatic, go carry and bring it there. So we're capturing one and replacing one. I think the Nociraptor probably took care of all the other Chimera, because I don't see any other Chimera. So we are... I'm gonna guess good to release zoning. I hope. Peaceful music and all. I assume. That worked out remarkably well. That Nociraptor, really, it could have screwed me up badly, and it didn't. So I'm happy with that, big time. I know I'm still on super high priority haul. 300 wood is not enough, so I'm going to leave it on. But I will start to reopen the backup doors. As we don't need to slam these shut for any reason anymore. I'm going to say, like, 2 more campings, and I'm just going to give up on this quest for now. To be returned to at some later date, because I don't want her to be out and about forever. We are creating a lot of temporary campsites kind of everywhere. Because she misses her hubby and wants to return home at some point. There's one. You don't medical 10. No, okay. Maybe I'll have Klein practice on that Chimera, because Klein's medicine is pretty good, pretty comparable to Lilin, and it's really useful to have two. So we've done 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll do 6. And if not 6, then we can go back to the drawing board. And these guys are pretty well contained. These cells are pretty strong. They're not maximum strength by any means, because I could be doing actually, where is bioferrite plate? Floors? Yeah, I could be doing bioferrite plate floors, which obviously would be stronger. And I might want to do that in the case of the Chimera rooms. So I will work to replace the Chimera rooms with bioplates, just to reduce the chance that they mess with us. Does the cook need to stop hauling? Yes. Good call. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld: The Darkest Ages, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Dread Knights.